All right. Hey, everybody. We're doing a battle of a couple Dior's today. I was going to say Fève Délicieuse, but Ombre Nuit versus Fève Délicieuse. So I don't have a bottle of Fève anymore in the household. Long story short, my sister actually blind bought that and she didn't end up liking it, so she returned it. But that was months ago. I think both of our noses have changed, like they've evolved. And to be honest, let me just tell you what they smell like. This one, Ombre Nuit, is an amber rose fragrance down to its core. Now it does open with some grapefruit and some pink pepper to make it a little bit fresh in the opening, but for the most part, that amber is carrying, and the rose is kind of like an added note to support the amber. It's not a standalone note that you're like, damn, that this smells like rose. You know what I mean? It's nothing like that. And I think that's the reason why I actually really love this fragrance, because rose is a hit or miss for me. And in this fragrance, it's a complete hit. Anyways, Fève Délicieuse, the notes that really stood out to me were lavender, that sour cherry, and the tonka bean. So honestly, Fève is not a fragrance that I would personally wear. I think between the two, this one sits very, very unisex. Yeah, anybody can really rock Ombre Nuit, but with Fève Délicieuse, it leans a little bit more feminine, but it is a unisex fragrance. And honestly, you know what? The only reason I'm saying that it leans feminine is because more women tend to gravitate to it. But based on scent alone, if you like the smell of tonka bean, like rock it. You know what I mean? So anyone can really wear it. Honestly, anybody. But yeah, so Fève Délicieuse had a really strong kind of cherry note when I was smelling that fragrance. And I honestly really liked it on my sister. So like, she would wear it, and that thing definitely had performance. Between the two of these, Fève is the stronger one in performance, scent trail, longevity. It easily lasts over 8 hours, and within that first hour, it's definitely just pushing out. Like, you can smell that fragrance from a couple feet away immediately. You know what I mean? With this one, it's much more soft. It's something that is more cozy for your scent bubble, and Fève is like what you wear when you're trying to show out, you know? So you got one that's loud, one that's a little bit more soft. So with Fève Délicieuse, I just honestly, with the people that don't really know what tonka bean is, I remember the first time I smelled that fragrance, it just sort of smelled like a powdery vanilla to me in the dry down. It was like the cherry, like a fresh lavender, and then powdery vanilla. And I know that you might see notes on Fragrantica like praline, which I think is like a caramel chocolate, and then benzoin, which is vanilla that can fight essentially. And then there's cacao pods, and I actually like the notes of cacao, but I can't really detect it in Fève Délicieuse, or at least when I tried it, I couldn't really remember it. I really just straight up smelled powdery vanilla, sour cherry, and lavender. So if you're not a fan of cherry, you might be put off with that, because that's how my sister was. She thought that the cherry was a bit too screechy for her, and that's why she couldn't get past the smell of the fragrance when she was wearing it. But for me, smelling it on her, I thought she smelled fantastic. I was like, yo, this smells really good on you. But you know, she is sensitive to scents. So wearing something loud for her was not really, she didn't really care too much about it. You know what I mean? So that's the reason that she returned it. Between these two, or the two that I mentioned, this is my absolute favorite. And I think my sister would agree as well when we first smelled this one, because when she bought Fève, like, you can get like a small sample of something. And let me show you let me see if, oh, here it is. Well, this one isn't Ombre Nuit anymore. This is Vanilla Diorama. But like Ombre Nuit came in this tiny bottle next to this 250 ml Fève Délicieuse, right? And because I asked her to get that one because I really wanted to try it. I opened it and we smelled it and we're like, holy shit, that smells so good. So ever since then, I rocked the hell out of this fragrance. And then my follower gave me this one, which is really sweet. But yeah, I find this to be a really, really sexy fragrance. And it's just smooth, it's sophisticated, it's classy, and it's soft. And I love that about this scent. I really only wear this for me. And yes, it's a crowd pleaser, but I always say that if everybody hated this fragrance on me, I would still wear it because I love it that much. Like, I wouldn't care what anybody thought. I would rock the shit out of this thing, and I still do. But with Fève Délicieuse, I think that's still an amazing scent. You know what I mean? I think if you love that tonka bean vibe, you're really gonna enjoy that one. So I would suggest you get a sample of it on Dior's website or something like that and test the fragrance on yourself and see how it develops, because it can go one of two ways. You know, you might get a stronger vanilla scent, you might get more of a sour cherry kind of scent, you know? But yeah, that's all I have to say about those two fragrances. Both are winners. This is my personal favorite, but if we're just going with non-bias based on longevity and mass appeal, I think Fève Délicieuse would edge it out just because of the longevity and the projection, not because of the scent, because both of these are amazing fragrances in their own right. But anyways, I hope you have a wonderful night, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.